a very fascinating game and an unusual one. Notre Dame
Boy,
against
big
Temple.
time.
Who would have thought this would have been
This might be the marquee matchup of the week, believe it or not.
Yeah, who would have thought this back in August. And yet Temple undefeated at 7-0, getting no respect from the odds makers, even at home. Notre Dame opened 9-point favorite. I got them now up to 10. So for this showdown, they did play 2 years ago. In fact, it was the opening game of the season. Notre Dame was a 28-point favorite, won the game 28-6, and really dominated. In fact, they had 543 total yards in the game, but clearly Temple has gotten better since then, a perfect 7-0 this season. Notre Dame, too, looks very strong on both sides of the ball. They were supposed to be great this year with 18 starters overall back, and they have been exceptionally good, only one loss. They come off the bye week, and it was a fun time as they knocked around USC at home with 590 yards. So, Sean, the bookies are telling you, though, this is not going to be a close game. They're saying it's going to be a blowout. Are they correct?
Well, first of all, I got the game kind of the other way. The first number I saw last night, this would be around 5 o'clock Pacific time, was Notre Dame 10.5. And then a couple hours later, and then this morning, I saw Notre Dame minus 9.5. Now, it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I've seen that. But right now, I think Notre Dame is 9.5. Is that what you're showing?
That's about right, yeah, 9
okay.
and 10, yep.
Against Temple. First of all, maybe the biggest game in Temple history. I mean, Temple hasn't gotten this kind of ink since, what was that guy, running back? Paul Palmer, was that his name?
Pete Palmer, was it?
Came in second
Paul
in the
Palmer.
Heisman Trophy back in 1984. He played
Yeah,
with the
I
Kansas
remember
City
that.
Chiefs for a while.
Something.
But this is the first time they've been a ranked team, I think, since 1979. This is an 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game. CBS is going to cover it. And like I said, big game for the Temple program. They're ranked number 21. You know, they're 7-0 straight up and very good against the bookie. 5-2 against the number. Average margin of victory, 17 points a game. So they're no slouch here. They travel to SMU next week. No look ahead. But it doesn't matter. When Notre Dame comes to town and you're ranked number 21, there is no such a thing as a look ahead. Their only difficult game will be at home versus Memphis, but they don't play that until November the 21st. So this is their season right here. Temple will go undefeated. They just defeated East Carolina 24-14 as a home dog of 3. They had to come back to do it. They have 9 days of rest because they played a week ago on Thursday. There's a junior quarterback, Walker, I think his name, 9 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions, pretty good numbers. He doesn't throw the ball a lot. This team plays defense, though. This is how they win games. They allow 14, 16, 10, and 3 points in the last 4 games. So there's no doubt about what John Cranton is going to be looking at when it's his turn to talk. He's going to talk about the total. Let's look at Notre Dame, and there's just no doubt about the class difference here. Notre Dame 6-1 straight up and against the number. Their only loss was by 2 points to Clemson, and in my opinion, they covered that game. It was about plus 2.5. They've covered 5 straight, and you're right. They were a 28-point road favorite to Temple about 2 years ago. Won the game 28-6, didn't cover. Notre Dame also rested, coming off a bye, and a 41-31 win as a home favorite of 6.5 against Southern Cal. A lot heavier competition here. They travel to Pittsburgh next week. Notre Dame also 18 starters back, 10 on defense. His team is a veteran team. They're winning with a new quarterback now, right? The first guy, I can't remember the first guy, but he was hurt. Now here comes quarterback Kaiser, the second stringer, 10 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions. And Notre Dame, much tougher schedule and always seems to step up. Kelly's just got these guys playing. Like I said, Temple unracked since 1979, big step up. The weather will be very good for this game. Sunny up in Philadelphia. In fact, the weather generally around for these games will be good. Notre Dame's on a mission. Temple would have to play perfect football, in my opinion, just to cover this game, let alone win it. It's not going to be a real strong play with me, but it will be a play. And I think Notre Dame, anything less than 10, and right now it's 9.5, is the side. I just can't make a case for Temple. I don't like taking a dog I don't think has a chance to win. I will take sometimes a 25-point dog if I see something where I think they'll cover. But this is just too short a number, and Notre Dame is on a mission. That one loss is really, they're looking to atone for that. I would lay the 9.5, Jeff.
Yeah, that loss at Clemson looks even better now after we saw what we saw Clemson do this past weekend.
Nothing,
2 years ago Notre Dame beat Temple 28-6, but that year Temple was 2-10. That was Matt Rhule's first year as a coach, so it's a big difference now. Notre Dame's averaging 38.3 points per game. If they keep that up, that'll be a record for Notre Dame. That's saying something for that school.
That program.
C.J. Prosise averaging 132 yards per game. Deshaun Kaiser's completing 65% of his passes, 10 TDs. Will Fuller has 32 catches for 702 yards. So it's hard to Notre Dame, even with all these injuries, they're still just just plugging them in there, and it hasn't
And
made
going.
much of a
And just
difference.
going.
Yeah. Tempo 7-0 for the first time ever, 21st in the AP poll. They came back with 14 points in the fourth quarter to beat East Carolina. Notre Dame is off a bye, of course, but then again, Tempo had an extra few days because they played on Thursday in the last game. Quarterback P.J. Walker was 19 of 35 for 250 yards and 1 TD versus East Carolina. As you said, the defense is stepping up, 14.6 points per game. That's what the Tempo's opponents are averaging. The running back Jahad Thomas averages 117 yards per game rushing. Tempo they've played some cupcakes, but they also beaten Penn State, Cincinnati, East Carolina. So this is
But they had to come back to do that too.
This is a
Okay,
tough
in your
one.
opinion, let's try this. In your opinion, if Temple played the schedule that Notre Dame played, what do you think their record would be right now?
Oh, they'd probably lose at least 2.
At least 2. How about maybe 4?
Nah,
That's what
I
I'm
wouldn't say
thinking.
that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be it's a huge. I mean,
It's a good line, actually.
ESPN College Game Day is going to be there. It's
Yeah.
going to be. They're going to be. This is going to be huge.
Everybody in
Yeah.
Philadelphia will be down there. Everybody.
Yeah. So if I'm not definitely
Even
I'm not
Chip
gonna-
Kelly will probably go
Yeah,
down
I'm
there.
not going to play the game, but I wouldn't mind taking a shot with Tempo if it goes to 10 points.
Wow.
And Sean, when you made this number, was it around 10, or did you make it less than that?
A 10, yeah. No,
A
that's
10?
a 10.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're not looking
yeah.
at Notre Dame being the name team here, therefore they're overvalued. That's matchup-wise, that's what it probably.
Well, I
roughly
mean,
should
Temple's
equate to.
they're gonna show up. They're gonna play. I mean, they're gonna let it hang out. But they would have to play such a perfect game and get some breaks, in my opinion. I just don't.
Yeah, this is not an explosive Temple offense,
Yeah.
a very ball control offense. P.J. Walker, the junior quarterback, 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions during their 7-0 start. They lean on Jahad Thomas, the running back, 5 yards per carry, 822 yards. But this is the best defense he's going to be seen all season. Robbie Anderson leads the team with 388 yards. Defense has been terrific for them. That's what keeps them in these games, even when they have to come back. Historically, they've been great against independents, 9-2 against the spread, and here they are, a big dog. But as Sean alluded to, I am going to look at a defensive game because I can't imagine the Temple offense scoring a lot against this it's very talented Notre Dame defense with 10 starters back, and they're not an explosive offense anyway. Meanwhile, the Temple defense has just been so good, 4-0 under the total when they face the independents, and Notre Dame, when they come off of a victory like they were 2 weeks ago, 24-10 under the total. Temple in non-conference play is also 7-2 under the total. All the technicals point there, and all the matchup does as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see roughly a 20-10 game, a lot of defense, but certainly not a lot of points in this puppy. All right, let's tell you what we have going on for the weekend. Jeff, you're going to have another one of your blockbusters available, and you didn't get there with the NFL blockbuster this weekend, but you're on a 30-14 run.
I can't believe that after winning for 27 weeks in a row, you actually had a losing
The
week.
Cowboys should have covered that game. Kickoff return got me, but that's where it goes. But you're going to get the next 2 weeks, including a blockbuster pro and college football. Also, you get the first 2 weeks of the NBA season. I had a tremendous NBA season last year. I was plus 274 units. So don't miss out. You get college football, pro football, NBA, and just call the number of your screen, ask for LVSS.
And can you believe the NBA season starts tomorrow,
Yeah.
and the World Series hasn't started yet? Like, Jesus. Can't get over it.
Shovel.
Yeah, can't get over it. And how about Jerry Jones defending Hardy?
He will until he has a couple of bad games.
Yeah,
They'll
I
throw
mean,
him out.
thought he was going to get into a fight with Des Bryant for crying out loud.
Well, Jim Fice certainly enjoyed the weekend. Had a terrific Saturday with his high roller plays, and then 6-1 in the NFL on Sunday with all plays. Saturday he had his AAC Game of the Year. That was Houston Cougars, 21-point favorites. They win easily 59-10. And then Sunday was a terrific day at 6-1. You can get all of Jim's plays at 1-855-846-7426, or just go to jimfice.com. All right, that'll do it for the college football version of Proline. We will see you next week with another edition. Good luck with the games, everyone.
Don't bet on any overtime games.
If you can predict that.